This is a self-care stretch for the inside of the thighs, the adductor muscles. So we're going to start off by bringing the soles of our feet together. Now the reason for me with having my back against the wall is to stop my weight moving backwards and my lower back, especially rounding. You might not need to do this if you've got more kind of comfortable range in your back muscles than I have. I'm pretty tight, even for all the yoga that I do and all the massages that I have. So soles of the feet are together, and you can have the heels close into the groin or further away. So in yoga, this is Baddha Konasana. You might know this as diamond sit or cobbler pose. So just waiting in this static stretch. You can increase the static stretch by visualizing from the center of the knees, 2 pieces of string or rope coming out, and somebody imaginary is there pulling on the ropes, and the knees start to stretch away from the groin and the knees start to drop down, and therefore you've got an increased stretch to the inner thighs. With any static stretch, wait and hold 15 seconds to 30 seconds. You know, if you're really loving it and you've got the time, then you can be here for as long as you choose to without getting cramp perhaps in your buttocks. So just soften off. So we're going to increase that a little bit by using a PNF technique. So your legs are already in a stretched position to the inner thighs. And what you're going to do is just rest the arms down onto the thighs. And you're going to gently, just really gently meet the pressure. So I bring the inner thighs up to meet my arms. A 10 out of 10 pressure would mean that the legs close, so the inner knees would touch. So this is a 2 or 3 out of 10 pressure. You'll feel the engagement, or I certainly feel the engagement with my inner thighs. We do this for 8 to 10 seconds, and then we soften. And we just pause for a little bit, and you're going to do that again, that pressing up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Just allow the legs to soften, release, and then last time, so a set of 3, you press up. And you could link into your breath here, so you might think about taking a full deep breath for, maybe 4 to 6 counts, longer if you want to, and then on the exhale, you start to release and let go. So again, you have that upward resistance for about 8 to 10 seconds. And after the 3rd time, you just stay here a little bit, just allowing the legs to really reap the rewards of that stretch. So that's targeted the short adductor muscles, pectineus and adductor brevis. And now we're going to target the long adductor muscles. You guessed it, adductor longus being one of them. And you're going to take the legs out nice and wide as you can without getting cramp, which is exactly what my right buttock is doing. So I'm bringing my legs a little further in. Don't allow the legs to roll out or knock in. Think centre of the knees pointing up. To target the back of the thighs, you can press the heels away or keep the legs soft. The focus is to the inside of the thighs. So to increase that stretch, hands on the legs, think about yourself being drawn up from the crown of the head and gently draw yourself forwards until you start to feel a stretch to the inside of the thighs. And think about the spine being nice and long. And with any static stretch, 15 seconds to a minute.